welcome back to my channel. Happy Sunday. It is March 21st as I am filming this, and yesterday was the first day of spring. Yay! Now, I'm not somebody who hates winter, really. Like, it has its place, but I am ready for slightly warmer weather, and this is like the sweet spot for me today. It is like in the 60s, maybe Fahrenheit here in Pennsylvania where I live. And it is just wonderful. Like, I had this little thing on today and for church, and it was just, that's all I needed. I didn't need a big coat. I, wasn't really ready for like no sleeves, but it was just perfect. So I am very, very happy and motivated today to get stuff done. So yeah, we are just going to do another one of these little chatty videos today. I have just not been filming or filming vlogs recently, and because there's just not a lot going on still. So I just thought this is just the perfect way to wrap up the week and still show you what all I've been up to, because pretty much the same things every week. so, so without further ado, let us get into the books I read last week. So I didn't really finish a ton last week, but I did finish 2 books, and I'm still working on one from the prior week because I really haven't had a whole lot of time to just sit down and read. And that one is just a physical book. But the other two, I listened to with text to speech and kind of read along when I could in the audiobook. And the other one, I started reading it physically, but then was able to get an audiobook from the library to finish the last like half of the book. So kind of did double duty with both of these books. So the first one that I finished was A Bachelor Girl's Guide to Murder by Rachel McMillan, I believe is the name, and I'll put it up here because this is the one that I got on ebook and then listened to it via text to speech for some of it. This book is set in Toronto in Canada in, I believe, 1910. And I was reading this with my friend Sarah from the Bookish Knitter as part of her March Mystery Madness group read kind of a situation. We basically wanted to do a buddy read and then kind of turned it into a group read situation, and we did a live show, a very short live show on Saturday with Janelle from Too Fond of Books, and they are both Canadian, and I was the lone U.S. girl representing in that live stream, which was fun. It follows two friends who kind of are the Sherlock Holmes and Watson characters. They are independent women in the 1910s, which is unusual. The one girl who is more of the Holmes character, Miranda, she is financially independent, and Jemima, or Jem, who is the Watson character, is only independent because her parents have cut her off because of her association with Miranda. So they have decided to form a detective agency, and they, especially Miranda, is really into, investigating murders, which is very unusual for a lady in that era, of course. So this was just a really fun, kind of satirical, not satirical, sarcastic romp through the city of Toronto, which I know Sarah was really excited to see all these places that she has been to uh, mentioned in the story, and actually given a lot of page time. There was a lot of it was set in the uh, what's it called, the something garden theater. I can't remember now, but I Sarah had me look it up online, and oh goodness, I need to go to there. It's so beautiful. So right from page one, there was a scene in the backstage of this theater, and I was just like, I'm sold. Anything set in a theater, I'm sold. I'm good to go. You've hooked me in. And the characters of Jem and Miranda, especially Jem, I really enjoyed their characters. Miranda was not quite as fleshed out, I thought, as Miranda or as Jem. She was a little bit more one dimensional, but she did have a few like hints of um, character development. So I feel like probably later in the series we'll get a little bit more character development from Miranda. But Jem and another character, Ray, were just very endearing characters that I really enjoyed. And there was a little bit of romance involved in this, but it wasn't the central focus. But I can see that it might be developing later on in the series, and I liked that relationship a lot. If you want to hear more of our thoughts, I will link our live discussion down below. Oh, and of course, that was for the March Mystery Madness prompt of single, because Bachelor is single. So the second book I finished this week was for middle grade March, but it also works for March Mystery Madness, the prompt of number. And that is the book called Three Times Lucky. And this is by Sheila Turnage. I was going to say Turner. But this is the first in a series as well. And it follows a little girl, well, I guess she's like 12 or 13, named Mo or Moses. And I believe this is set in North Carolina. And I think it is present day. But a lot of it felt very like old fashioned because it is set in a small town, and it's very like down home kind of a feeling to it. But I think it is set modern day. So we follow Mo and her friend Dale as they are trying to catch a killer that has been set loose in their town, basically, and killed a guy that we don't have a whole lot of background on, but he's sort of a curmudgeon. And Mo is afraid that her father figure, who is not actually her father, but he has taken her in, she is sort of afraid that the police might think he had something to do with it. So she has, and also her friend has kind of been implicated in the murder. So she has a vested interest in trying to find this killer, and a whole lot of things happen, but it is really, it's told in such a funny, lighthearted way that it's definitely a cozy mystery, but it is also, I feel like, pretty appropriate for maybe an older middle school audience. Like I think a 12 or a 13-year-old could probably handle this. There's really not much that is inappropriate for a kid in this. There's maybe some suggestions of maybe more adult things, but very, very little. So I really enjoyed this. I think I gave this 5 stars, honestly. I was a little bit afraid that the police were going to come off badly in this, but they really don't. So that was, exciting for me. And I really recommend this, and I will be moving on in the series at some point. And then the last book that I have been reading but haven't completed yet is Crocuses and Crime. But I am really enjoying this still, and I actually kind of hope that I can finish it today after we finish filming. But I wanted to get this video out, so I haven't finished it yet. But my idea to binge these has not worked out well. So, but it's not for lack of enjoying the the series, because I definitely enjoy the series, but I just haven't had that much time. So, but I am still really enjoying this. I enjoy the characters. This one is stressing me out a little bit, to be quite honest, because it involves kind of a rift in the relationship that I felt was so cute in the last book, and it's kind of stressing me out. And it involves another character who was part of the love triangle earlier on in the books, and that is stressing me out. So, but I have been assured by friends that it's all okay. So, and I'm sure it is. So, I am going to get back into this after we finish filming today. So now let's talk about crafty stuff. I have finished one item in my knitting repertoire, so I have a finished object, and that is this ponytail hat that I am making for my friend Christy. And I had a little bit of a panic moment with this. I got all the way until making this ponytail section, and then I bound it off even, but it wasn't stretchy, and I thought I did it wrong. So I tried to take it back. And if you are a person who knits, taking out a bind off after you've done it all is really hard. And I was messing it up. And I thought, oh my gosh, I am going to have to unravel this entire hat and redo it. And I was all set to do that, but I was just like, I'm walking away. I'm going to walk away. And I walked away for a while, and I talked to my friend Sarah from the Bookish Knitter, who is also my knitting guru, who like talks me down off ledges and things like that. And I mean, she really didn't have like a heap of advice for that, because that is like, holy crap, what do you do? But she also suggested just walk away. And so I did, but I went back to it a little bit later, and I just like tried to get all of the stitches that were falling off back onto a needle, and I was like, it's not going to look perfect at the end, but it's a ponytail hat, so Christy will probably put like a bun kind of a situation up there, and you won't be able to see anything that's like a mistake on it. So I was able to save it, and it's currently a little bit damp still. It's still drying from, but it's still not a stretchy thing, and I've never made a ponytail hat before, so I'm not really sure. Hopefully that's going to be a big enough opening for her to get a ponytail through. But yeah, I'm actually pretty proud of this. I think it turned out really nice. The cables were pretty fun to do, and it's nice and squishy, and hopefully it doesn't seem overly big. I put it on my own hat, and it's a little bit loose, but it's not like insane. So so hopefully she will be able to wear it, and if she needs to roll up the brim or something to make it fit better, obviously she can do that. So I'm excited about that. And now that means I only have one knitting project on the needles. I don't know what to do with myself. And that one thing that's on my needles is my Hedwig, my little plushy toy amigurumi. Amigurumi? What's it called? I don't even know. I don't even know if this qualifies as amigurumi. But this is her body. And these are like tail feathers, which I think are really weird looking, but I mean, I think they're for stability for when it's done, so like she'll stand, I think, hopefully. So you won't really even see these that well, hopefully, once I get the wings done, and once I get it, stuffed and everything. But funny story with this, I have just been like knitting this as kind of like a when I feel the need to knit, and I didn't really have any like specific plans with it, although my ultimate plan is and was to give it to my one coworker who has a little daughter, And he's really into Harry Potter and all kinds of fantasy stuff. So I thought, if nothing else, he would like it just, to put on a shelf or whatever. But my ultimate goal was for it to be for his kid because it's a stuffed animal. So anyway, at work the other day, he just happened to mention that his daughter has become obsessed with owls. And I was like, what? She's obsessed with owls? And I was like, oh yeah, she just loves everything that has to do with owls. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've been knitting a hedgewig for her for like 6 months. So I now have motivation to get this thing done because she's only like 1.5, something like that. So like her obsession with owls is probably going to end. Let's be honest, probably before I get this done. But my goal now is to really pick up the pace with this and try to get it done to where she's still gonna like it and she's still gonna like think it's cute. You know what I mean? So that being said, I finished those tail feathers yesterday because I only had one more of the 4 to go. And then I also made one of the shorter wings. There's like 2 sets of wings, obviously. You know what I mean. But there's like 4 parts, 2 parts to each wing. Why was that so hard for me? But this is a shorter wing, so I finished that yesterday. And then currently on the needles, I am doing the second longer wing that's going to go underneath this one. So I think, how does this work? I think it kind of goes like this, sort of. And then like, I don't know, they're layered, I think. I'm not really sure yet. There's some things about it that I am a little bit like, what? What are you trying to say to me? But I'm just gonna attempt it. If it's not perfect, it's fine. It's a toy for a 1-year-old. It's not it's not the end of the world if it's not perfect, right? So yeah, so that is all I've got going on recently with my crafting. I did start working on the March leaves for my temperature tree, but I forgot to bring it up with me, so just gonna have to trust me. But I'll try to remember to show that to you at least by the end of March, right? And I have not worked on Alice at all this week. So, because of only having one knitting project on the needles, and it's probably going to take me a while still, I am considering casting on that one skein shawl with my Hufflepuff yarn that I showed you last week. So we shall see if I get to that. I kind of feel like I should just stick with Hedwig to try to get it done. So I may just continue with that, just to try to get as much done with that as I can. And that can kind of hopefully soothe my knitting need for the week. We'll see. But the yarn that I want to get for the sweater that I want to make should be available on Knit Picks on the 23rd, which I think is like, yeah, it should be Tuesday, right? So I think I'm going to order that. I have not hit my 5-pound goal yet, but I have been doing a lot better with walking every day and hitting 10,000 plus steps every day. And I feel like I'm on my way. So it's going to take a little while for Knit Picks to get that yarn to me. So my hope is, and my goal is, to have reached that 5-pound loss goal by the time that yarn gets here, and then I can start the sweater. We'll see. So, just some random chatter now. If you're not into that, that's fine. Thank you for joining me. But just some random tidbits from the week. Not a whole heck of a lot. Like I said, it's really nice here, and spring has finally sprung. We're still in that stage where like some days are still in the like mid 40s and raining and gross. But then we have days like today that are sunny and 60, 60 plus maybe. Um, and yeah, living for it. And I am getting into my spring cleaning now. I have gotten rid of a bunch of long sleeve shirts that I did not wear last or this, this past winter. So that's usually my ballpark for getting rid of clothing. If I didn't wear them in the current season, uh, then at the end of that season, I assess whether I should just get rid of it. And so I got rid of like 12 shirts, which was awesome. So I have way too many shirts. And plus, if I'm going to be knitting my own shirts now, I don't need all these extra store-bought shirts, right? So, and then I am also starting to go through books and just random crap that I need to get rid of. I am washing a bunch of things that, kind of just get dirty from all the salt and just winter yuckiness. So we're going to be washing floors and just doing all the spring cleaning bits that I have kind of neglected over the winter because it just feels like a waste when you're just going to track in all the salt and yuckiness that they put on sidewalks and stuff. It just feels like a waste to clean really, really well when it's just going to get dirty in 5 minutes. So now that I am relatively sure that we are going to start having nice weather, I am going to slowly start to deep clean my house, which I don't like to do, but while I have the motivation, I might as well do it. And lastly, I went to church at an actual church building with people for like the first time in 4 years today. And it was lovely. Oh, I'm not going to go into all the reasons why I have not been at church for 4 years. But yeah, it had nothing to do with the pandemic. I've never, okay, so when you're single, we'll start there. Going to church by yourself, even when you have friends there and you know them and they're lovely, it's hard to motivate yourself to go to church when you're just a single person. Uh, and I had some experiences, not with the church, but just in life, that I just kind of got out of wanting to go to church. But that all being said, we're not going to go into that. I have a theater friend who has recently uh, found Jesus, and he is now on the worship team at this local church that is also pastored by a high school friend of mine. And I have, that church has been around for like 3 years, and my friend has been the pastor of that church for like 3 years. And I've, just for all those reasons I told you about, I just never went. And my another theater friend today, or last week, asked me if I would want to go with her to see our mutual friend sing on the praise team, and I was like, heck yes, I would like to do that. So we went today, and it's their first day in a brand new church building, and it was just lovely. It was lovely to see my friends that I haven't seen for a while. I cried when my friend sang a song about finding Jesus. It was lovely. So it was a very good experience, and I will try to convince myself to go back, even if I'm by myself. I'm not sure that I am going to commit to myself to every Sunday, but I will definitely try to make more of an effort to actually go to church, and to try out this church. It's really close to where I live, so it's like I don't have that excuse that it's far away. It would take me literally 5 minutes to get there. So I do not have an excuse in that way, and I just need to get myself there. So yeah, it's exciting. that's really all that's going on in my life at the moment. But at least it's good things, right? So, yeah, anyway, I hope that you all are having a lovely week. I hope that the weather is nice where you are. And I hope that it is giving you all the motivation and all the happy feelings, and that we're going to be finally out of this winter depression and we can start doing things. And yeah, all the happiness, all the happy vibes. So I am going to go and finish some laundry and then possibly go for a walk. Probably get out of my church clothes. I mean, look, I'm even wearing a springy top. Ah, so nice. And I will talk to you in my next video. All right, bye.